Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another adventure game, and I figured we might as well check this one off the list, after all. And boy oh boy, it's gonna be one of those games. So it's rendering at 640 by 400, I believe. My capture software shows it as being a tiny little picture in the top corner of a monitor. But it's thankfully stretched across the screen for me, and will be for you guys too, after editing. Boy oh boy. So I'm guessing point-and-click adventure game that shares a lot of aesthetic choices with the Fallout franchise.
Almost there. One more setting. And one more piece of the unique is operational.
One down, 1 million to go. Speaking of which, boss, I found exactly none of the parts you wanted. A whole day at the junk pile, and all I turn up are a locker and some stupid conduits. Maybe next time. Boss, are you sure you got those settings right?
That came from down in engineering. Let's go.
Well, that sounds like not good news. So immediately you can draw the comparison between this and Shardlight, a comparable, very, very reduced resolution pixel art Wedget Eye Games adventure point-and-click that I played, which is worth checking out.
There's no time for that.
Well, I want to check it out. You can't stop me. They totally can't stop me. They have stopped me.
We need to get to engineering. There's no time for that. There's no time for that.
Boss?
Crispin, get behind me. Who are you and what do you want? Power.
I think he wants the power core, boss.
Stop right there. This ship belongs to me.
Forfeit. Enemy. Plunder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property.
Get away from the power core.
Forfeit.
Boss? Boss? Horatio? Come on, Horatio, wake up! Whew, you're okay.
What happened?
Well, Big Ugly threw you out of the ship. And then he said plunder, again. And then he left with our power core.
Basad.
Yep,
How much charge have you got?
10%. You?
I'll be fine. We just need to get the emergency generator up and running.
Or we could just go to Metropol, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropol is trouble. But if you want to go, you've got free will and a maglev unit.
With that guilt subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far. So I suggest we get the generator working.
You and your projects.
Man built us to build, Crispin. Now, come on.
So we immediately establish our character as not being a regular human because he gets shot through by a laser straight through the chest, and then he just gets back up again, and he's talking about charge now. So apparently we're some kind of artificial creature created by man. What's saving look like here? Shot through the heart. And you're to blame. And you're to blame. Ah! That'll settle for your to blame. Fine. And save. So it's the old school point and click manual saving options list here. Look at this thing. Commentary. Oh. I'm guessing developer commentary. Graphics DX. For these changes to take effect, you must restart the game. To tinker with other things you can find. Yeah. Oh. Is that just explaining how to change? I think it does. Voice and text, text. Oh, hey. Alright, well now I know what the options are.
Now, I'm not a fancy engineer like you, boss, but it seems like the unique isn't gonna fly without its tail on.
Crispin Horatio built, version 1. He'll be version 2 once I put some arms on him. He's my best and only friend.
His last name is Horatio Built, and my name is apparently Horatio, so... Much like how somebody might be named, like, Smith or Woodsman or whatever, this person's... He's gone on and continued the tradition to name the,
You know, boss, if you're ever wondering what I would do, feel free to just ask.
I'll keep that in mind.
Smith's actually the wrong comparison. More like when somebody is called, like, I don't know, Smithson or something, when son's at the end of the name. This person's Crispin Horatio Built. Same naming scheme.
I must have dropped my data pouch when I was thrown out of the unique.
Pretty sure we want that.
Assad, its memory got wiped. Easy enough to have the good old junk pile's coordinates back in, though.
The unique and junk. Okay. Interesting name you got for our ship here. We have data, map, and Crispin. So we're at the unique. Junk is over there. How do you get around on this thing? Probably just useful as like a reminder, I suppose. Horatio Nullbuilt, system user.
The data pouch is registered to me. A broken robot I dragged out of the junk pile. I salvaged the sarcasm coprocessor from it for Crispin.
Yeah, it works great. Is that a gumball machine?
No, it's a robot's head.
Ah, I wanted a gumball.
It's one of the unique's turbines.
The big engine that couldn't.
Thought I'd take a poke around.
Pick that up.
Can I get around it all in here, or is the only way to go through the exit? I think it is. Let's try talking to Crispin. Oh, you can use Crispin on things.
That's crazy talk. Is that really the best idea you can come up with, boss? Is that really the best idea you can come up with, boss?
And Crispin is mouthy.
Maybe you should check out the emergency generator and see if you can get it running.
Is this back where we came from? Well, before the dumping and everything?
Some very sticky grease.
Ah, that's the generator, right?
It's not going to do anything until the generator's fixed. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together.
Now who's the procrastinator?
Crispin, when I told you to find a new spark plug, did you just shove my conductive putty into the old one?
Maybe.
No wonder the generator isn't working.
Thanks for your help? Why is his voice so familiar, by the way, Crispin? Is that just the name Unique? Yep.
It's the Unique's tag. Without it, I'd have never known the ship's name.
Apparently, building a giant airship doesn't require proper spelling.
Apparently not.
It would appear that his sarcasm chip is working overtime right now.
Some very sticky grease. I can't just scoop it up.
Okay, fine. Make him do it.
Hey, Crispin, Want a bath?
You sure are chipper, boss, given that we're slowly dying out here.
What else can I do?
It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit.
Where does my inventory live, actually? I'm not actually sure. Data, map, inventory. Conduit, data pouch. Okay. Conduit.
I'll need to get a closer look to see how it fits together. I'll need at least 5 pieces to be able to build a conduit long enough to run the generator to the unique.
So I need a bunch of pieces. Okay. Can I open the inventory? Yes. Good to know. Was not looking forward to doing multiple clicks for that. I don't suppose the pouch can be used to scoop it up.
That's never going to work.
Listen, you never know until you try. And you didn't even try.
Blasted leaking gasket.
Is it blasted or leaking?
I mean, you can be blasted and then leaking. So we probably need, like, tape or something.
More Gordium conduit.
Slowly combining them together. Is it 2 items now or more? 2 conduits, it says. So yes and no.
What was I thinking leaving all my lanterns up there? What was I thinking leaving all my lanterns up there?
We have a flying robot. You deal with it.
That's way too big for me to get, boss, and you know it.
Could you grab that lantern?
Sure thing, boss.
You know, I always wanted to be able to fly. That's why I built you with a maglev unit.
Not so that you could store tools on hard-to-reach ledges.
Well, that too.
There was a clue there. He's like, that's way too big for me, boss. And I'm like, well, there's a slightly smaller one right next to it. That's the obvious clue here, right?
A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. It's pitch black in there.
Will it even let me go
The
inside?
hatch is unresponsive.
Oh. Doesn't matter that I can't see inside. I also can't go inside. I figured if we could go inside, Crispin might be a source of light.
An old captain's chair. I moved it here from navigation. A large observational telescope. Without power from the ship, the telescope won't work.
Bad timing with those repairs, huh, boss?
What was that? Oh, clouds.
Strange clouds, huh, boss?
Only a little sliver left before the moon wanes entirely.
Well, I'm glad we're not the only ones running out of power.
Alright, Crispin. Do it. Get me the moon.
Sure, boss. I'll fly up there and bring you back a moon rock. Oh, wait, I can't, since I don't have hands.
Wait, you could fly there? Yeah, I feel like you really disputed the wrong part of that idea. Alright, then bring me clouds.
Strange clouds, huh, boss? I don't really want to try that.
Alright, we can go down the hatch from here.
It's too dark to see the ladder rungs.
You can't climb a ladder? In the dark? They're like equidistant and everything. That's why we got a lantern. There we go. Now, I don't need to deal with that.
It couldn't hurt to bring the gospel of man with us.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough.
So not only are we an artificial creation of some kind that has some kind of mission created by man and some sort of that's not even the right starting, that's not even the right prefix, post-apocalyptic scenario, we also seem to have a form of Bible? What is it exactly? It might just be talking about, it actually might just be a historical document trying to explain the history of man, and who might be gone now? There might not be anyone left. Oh, well, maybe I'll get my answer here. In the beginning, all was still and silent. Then man the all-builder spoke the word, and the word begat the code, and so the world began to spin. Thus dawned the Primordium, the first age, the age of building. Man moved across the world and built many wonders. In the heavens he paved the sky roads. On the land he raised mystic towers. And in the dark depths he dug colossal caves. Most incredible of all were the many machines designed by man, but still the All Builder was not satisfied. So with both his hands man built a body of steel in his own image, and with his right hand he gave logic, and memory he gave with his left. Then man said, "Now I will quicken this machine with the spark of power, and together we shall walk upon the earth." And it was done. Thus spun the world, and grew the code, and multiplied the living machines, and slowly passed the primordium. Who can count the versions and generations that marked that age? In time, the All Builder looked upon the many things he had built, the sky roads and mighty towers, and above all upon living machines. Weary with his labor, man sat himself beside the robots and said unto them, "For you, my children, I spoke the word, and fired the engine of the world. For you I wrote the code, and to you I gave logic and memory." Then man, the All-Builder, stood and took the machines in his hands, and guided them to a great mountaintop. Together they looked upon the world in its beauty. "All this was made for you, and now unto you all this is given. Keep it, tend it, and make it flourish." And the All-Builder fell silent and passed from the world, and so ended the primordium. We are lesser machines, built by those built by man. We are but humble images of the All-Builder, so he is the perfection of our forms, a machine of unbreakable form, endless memory, and absolute logic. For of this we revere him, and speak the word, and keep the code, and tend the world he gave to us.
I've read enough. It's the gospel of man.
So not much to get out of that, really. It's mostly just that man is gone, and machines, or at least some machines, probably revere that man as a symbol of the ultimate machine, even though that's not really the most accurate way to describe that, most likely.
Ooh, spooky.
Good thing there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here? We could have been stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet.
Fun comedy moment, but also, is that foreshadowing for something that'll happen in this game? Because that's concerning. I'm not going to super stick to it as the definite thing that'll absolutely happen, but I mean, there's a... Once that narrative seed is set, there's a very real chance that, like, the last thing that happens in this game is our friend sacrificing himself to blow something up.
Bedtime reading.
You have bed? I guess you charge.
So that's where you keep it.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
I have a plasma torch? I was looking at the bed. Oh, hey.
For cutting and welding, it can't be beat.
Okay.
This is no time for a nap,
I still don't see why I don't get a bed.
because you have a flat bottom to rest on.
Boss, were you checking out my bottom?
I built it, I
can't
think.
pick that up.
In case that wasn't clear, I'm pretty sure I built your bottom.
That piece of sheet metal really ties the room together, boss.
Do I want that?
There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it.
You never know. You just gotta think creative. Let's think creative. I don't see... There's a globe over here, I think, maybe. But it doesn't seem that important. It's kind of cool how this... It's like a... future-y, robot-y, apocalyptic-y setting, but everything's, like, very round. That seems very intentional, how everything's curvy and not a series of squares, even though, of course, the graphic style is itself a series of squares.
The controls for this hatch are unresponsive.
Well, that might be what we do this with this, then.
I'm trying to fix the unique, not destroy it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were trying to be proactive about our problems. What if we read the Gospel of Man to it?
I doubt that will have any effect.
Oh, yeah?
I get it. A big robot named Man built everything. Just no more preaching, please.
Wow, they're not even, like, vague about it. They actually think that Man was a robot. Whoops. Whoopsie whoopsie. What would I do here? We can't open the door. I have a plasma torch. I guess the idea is just to take the plasma torch with me on the way back and use it somewhere else. Probably not here.
A sturdy cable.
Oh, I just took it. Huh. Easier than I thought.
A good length of heavy-duty cable designed for carrying data.
We have a data cable, we have 2 conduits, but I need like, what, 5 or something? Am I allowed to leave? Because there's the junk pile on the map, so I was wondering if I could just go there? Let's see. Can the plasma torch be used on the leak?
That could cause the whole unique to go up in smoke. There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it.
Boss, are you ever gonna do anything about that oil leak?
Yes, after we recover our power core.
Now who's making excuses?
Well, I may be able to get something from here. So what about the spark?
Plus
Yeah,
the putty is still good.
that's what I thought, is I'd be able to get the putty.
The generator is missing a spark plug.
So I need 5 conduits, or was it 6 conduits? I need a bunch of conduits, and I need a spark plug, but I have putty now?
A small lump of electrically conductive putty.
Okay. We have a lot of components that might help with something. There was a junk pile on the map. Do I just click on it? That's how travel works. Okay. So if I need a bunch of scavenging items, this is probably where I'd go get them.
If that red light went off, I bet the train would start going.
Crispin, sometimes I think you're trying to get me to waste time.
Who, me? Boss, just think of all the brothers and sisters you could make for me from all that junk.
One of you is more than enough. Endless junk.
How do you think a train wound up out here, boss?
Maybe they brought it here by boat.
Very funny.
Looks like some kind of lockbox.
Nope. We have looks like 2 conduits.
It's 3 pieces of gordium conduit.
Never mind. Even more.
Unfortunately, one of them is completely corroded and worthless.
Never mind. Even less. So now we have 4 conduits. Hooray.
It's locked tight. There's a piece of gordium conduit way back there. I can't reach the conduit.
We need to find a way to get the tube. I can think of a way.
Crispin, can you go in there and get that piece of conduit?
I suppose. That would have been a lot easier with hands, boss.
Yeah, I was about to ask that question. What do you not having hands? Did he just, like, maybe pushed it towards the edge, then came out, and then I could grab it at that point? I have 5 pieces of conduit. I forget if he said 5 or 6 earlier. I'm such a king at remembering numbers.
It's locked tight. It's just scrap.
There doesn't seem to be a ton around here. Oh, right. I can probably cut into that lockbox.
Let's see if this works.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it.
Or killed it, you know. You never know. Can I get inside the train that way, too?
It's reinforced steel.
Well, then just do it for longer. That's how it works, right? Well, I've got... Oh, broken robot.
Looks like an old P2. Or is it a P3? I picked it clean years ago.
Oh. You picked other stuff clean years ago, but you haven't opened that lockbox before? Weird. Let's try heading back. I think I have what I need for this stuff, the conduits.
I'll need to get a closer look to see how it fits together. The won't work until they're locked together.
Okay. How about spark plug? There we go. Plasma torch, and then conduits?
Time for a little welding.
There you go.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
Are they put together now? Yep. They remain, like, between this and Shardlight, yeah, Wadget's really good at, like, really atmospheric pixel art. I just can't help but feel like it's a little, just a little too low resolution, but that might itself be a cost-saving measure because they're an indie company making point-and-click adventure games, so, you know. There we go. That wasn't so tough.
I thought we were in trouble when Big Ugly stole our core. But just like that, problem solved.
The problem is not solved.
Well, I agree. The noise leaves something to be desired.
This is an emergency generator, Crispin.
Well, it was an emergency, boss.
It only runs for a few days, if that.
Oh. Well, do we have another one?
No, which means it still is an emergency.
Well, in that case, first dibs on the recharge station. So, what's the plan, boss?
We need to recover our power core.
Or we could just take the train to Metropol and live in luxury.
First of all, there is no train to Metropol. And second, even with full charges, we can't just walk there. But more importantly, I hate that city. It's in my core logic. I don't know why, but I can't change it.
Okay. In that case, can't you just make us a new power core?
Yes, but I need some kind of strong energy source for that.
And you just make one of those too? I'm just asking.
No, but somewhere around here are the plans for an energy sensor.
That's awfully convenient.
I designed it a long time ago, before I made you. I even found a sodium iodide crystal to use in the sensor, though man alone knows where it's buried now.
Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropol, city of glass and light. Our energy is shared with all robots. Here is haven for all and street numbers. Come, join
Boss, don't you think it's a fire hazard to have all those books piled up like that?
How would they catch fire?
are equal in Metropol, equal parts of the greater.
You could hear them talking about Metropol somewhere in the background. Why would I be listening to a radio station about that anyway?
It's the Unique's recharging station.
Weary wanderers,
We're fine on energy, for now.
in Metropol.
Hey, boss, what do all these buttons and switches do?
I think there's some sort of defense mechanisms, but I can't figure them out. I've never been able to figure it out. An interlocking hatchway. An interlocking hatchway. A collection of product manuals, how-to guides, and technical treatises.
Do you think the sensor design might be in here?
No, these are all books I scavenged. I don't need any of these right now.
Let's hope it stays that way.
When are all these books for? Or when are they from? Did machines make more books, or are these from all the way back to man? Oh, the audio's playing from this room.
A computer terminal. An interlocking hatchway.
Together, let us begin a new Primordium.
That record player was a good find, Crispin.
I still think you should have let me have its arm.
I'm pretty sure that arm came from a sewing
Join us
machine.
in Metropol.
On second thought,
City of
maybe I should have let you
glass
have
and
it.
light. Our energy is shared with all robots. Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropol.
I bet I can
City
find a
of
better
glass
use for this
and
plug.
light.
But now we can't listen to the sweet voice of Metropol.
I guess that makes two birds.
Yeah, not sure why that was turned on in the first place, judging how our character reacts to that. Everything about them. It's in their core programming not to like them.
An ancient liquid crystal display. The original designs for Crispin.
Hey, there are arms here! And an awesome set of tractor treads!
I went with a maglev unit instead, and I never could find good arms. The original designs...
What am I looking at?
The only way I can use this is by plugging something in.
Okay. Well, I have a plug.
It fits, but there's no point unless I connect the plug to something else first.
Like maybe connect it with something that does cable? There we go. Long cable.
How would that even work?
Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong item.
That's never going to work.
What? It's everything we ever wanted. LCD screen?
The monitor is designed to socket directly into a CPU.
Okay. Like this? Is there anything else to attach to besides the plug? I think there's not. Data pouch, maybe?
Doesn't have enough processor power to help.
Nope, apparently not. We still have the weird putty situation, too. Alright then, let's see about plugging into something else first.
There's nothing I can do with it until I have some kind of power source.
That is where our power core should be shedding its light silently.
Right, because this is where we got attacked. Can I go over here? Ooh, neat.
An old rag.
No! I was trying to dry that.
Wow, first the power core and now a rag. This is not your day.
What am I gonna do without my robo-rag? My life is forfeit.
It's an excellent tail. It's just detached. Some rotted alloy support beams. Twisted corroded copper with micro-sandwiched ceramics. Too bad this stuff is mostly unworkable with a plasma torch.
Well, I can probably go get the rag back if I go downstairs.
To-do list. Funny how it never gets any shorter.
That's your fault, boss, not mine.
The to-do list? Oh, it's a note.
There's the design. I'll put the keynotes into my data pouch.
How does it even work?
The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. The computer decodes the information and displays it on the monitor.
Boss, where are we going to find a working computer?
The Unique is full of them.
Oh, right.
The energy sensor requires a sodium iodide crystal connected to a cable, which in turn needs to be connected to a CPU and a monitor.
Okay. Kind of missed some of these at first. Are these different notes?
It's Crispin's
That's your...
I found this in the dunes. It reads, pound pastrami, canned kraut, 6 bagels, bring home for Emma.
I think he keeps things like shopping lists because he doesn't know what else to do with them, apparently.
That's never going to work. The cable's far too long to be useful.
Cable's too long to be useful? That's a strange claim.
The monitor is designed to socket directly into a CPU. Futile.
If I can find a CPU, I can just put the monitor directly into it. And try that again here?
I doubt that will have any effect. A simple computer interface with a socket for connecting external hardware.
But I can't plug it into anything. Yet.
How would that even work?
Listen, it's a plug. Use your imagination. Anyway, the new music's a better option than the old music, at least.